All right, Kodiak Truck Talk. Want to talk today about the debate of which handgun is better for bear protection. 10 millimeter with a high capacity magazine. You can see this one is clear and empty. Or a revolver like a 44 Magnum. See, this one's empty as well. First piece of advice I can give you when it comes to handguns for protection in bear country is filing this front sight off. It's the first thing you want to do. That way it makes it a little bit easier for that bear to shove it up your ass. But if you've got an option, you always want to have your rifle or your shotgun available for bear protection. But that's not always reasonable. You know, a lot of the time it's a lot easier to carry a handgun. Personally, I'd say if you're going on a hunt and you're carrying a rifle, even if it is like a 308 or a 270, there's no need to carry a handgun too. It's just extra weight at the end of the day. Your rifle would be much more effective if you got in a situation where you needed it. The truth on the matter is, I think they both have advantages and disadvantages. I don't really think one is superior over the other. It depends on the scenario more than anything. An advantage of the 44 is it's always loaded. That's also one of its major disadvantages, is it's always loaded. Most of the time, a loaded gun is more dangerous than a bear. Usually the bears don't want to mess with you. But especially, you know, if it's something where you're wearing it day in and day out, you're getting in and out of your tent in the morning with it, you've constantly got it on your person and taking it in and out of the holster. At that point, it really does become more dangerous than the bear. But in a different scenario, with it already being loaded, let's say if it's early in the morning and you're walking from one tent to another in the dark, or you're walking from the cabin out to your boat by yourself in the dark, in that case, having a loaded gun can be very valuable if suddenly a bear appears and is coming at you. Another advantage of the 44 could be its power, especially if you're in a group of people and you're the only one that has a handgun. If somebody in your group gets attacked, you're not going to want to just fire repeatedly, because you're more likely to shoot one of the other people around than you are the bear. With a 44, you can carefully aim and make a double lung shot. It's not going to stop the problem right away, but personally, I think that's what I would rather have happen if I was on either side of that scenario. In the end, whether you're carrying a 44 or a 10 millimeter, if the bear is really angry, you're going to have to shoot him in the brain to stop him. That whole thing about how a bullet won't penetrate a bear's brain or a bear's skull is false. If you hit him in the skull plate, it's going to put the lights out. Especially, with the 10 millimeter, you're going to have to make that headshot eventually if he really wants to come at you. Right. The advantage of the 10 millimeter, like I said, is not always being loaded. You can just have the rounds in the magazine, but not in the chamber. So if time permits for you to get it loaded, then it's not a danger to you during the times that it's unloaded, and it's in that condition. You feel much more comfortable having it in your belt, tucked in your pants without a holster, carrying it in your hand, crawling in and out of your tent. So when I'm guiding And more often than not, this is what I pick, because I'm going to be defending myself. Usually not somebody else. The other people that are with me usually have a rifle or a handgun of their own. But if I'm guiding, say, fishermen on a river that have one day to get out and experience Alaska, in that case, I would prefer my 44. But another advantage that's also a disadvantage is the amount of rounds you get to carry in this. The advantage there is obvious. You get more shots, less recoil. The disadvantage is you have more opportunity for your weapon to jam and malfunction. You always have to be prepared for that. But I think that the 10 mil with a high capacity magazine in it is most effective at stopping a head-on attack from a bear. If he's charging at me, his head's facing me, his head's in the center of the target coming after me, or coming at me, and you're just repeatedly firing at that headshot as the bear's coming in. I think that's where it rules. And the 44 in a group where you don't have that perfect headshot presented to you. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. If possible, get to your rifle. Practice, practice, practice.